there's two that I really kind of want to talk about, but then the rest of them I'll just fly through because we are running a little bit late here. My first few are Nintendo focused. They're going to do a deep dive on Breath of the Wild 2. We're going to get a full reveal and a full title. I mean, I feel like that's safe, and probably a release date that, they'll delay 4 times. But my thing is they're going to do things that people aren't going to expect. We talk about this on Pal Block a lot. I think they're going to reveal that Zelda is a playable character, and there's going to be a small party system in this one where you're going to be able to swap between Zelda and Link to solve puzzles and shrines. I feel like that's a good way to change up the, so it doesn't feel like the first game, like if you have Zelda and Link in 2 separate parts of the shrine, like Zelda needs to press a button so Link can get through a gate, that type of thing. I think that's going to happen. I feel like the Skyward Sword amiibo that's coming out is going to have a similar effect the way that the Wolf Link amiibo did for Breath of the Wild. You'll either be able to fly it or it'll be some sort of distraction for bosses to attack or something. Something to that degree. They'll be able to get things on high ledges similar to Wolf Link. I feel like there's going to be a new slate of Breath of the Wild 2 amiibo that they're going to show off, and it won't do anything except give you cool items in the game because, let's face it, amiibo are kind of worthless these days, but they're still selling them.
I mean, I do love someone pointed an article in my direction that said that the amiibos are basically DLC. Like once I read that, it made absolutely perfect sense for the amiibo thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm still trying to get the rest of the Zelda ones. I don't know if I'm going to be able to or not. This Skyward Sword amiibo is already ridiculously hard to get, and it's not even out yet.
Dude, let me tell you, man. Like I missed the train on the Monster Hunter amiibos, so I had to get these things.
What are they? The chips, the cards?
Yeah, I had to get these things. And you know what? I will say this: like those NFC chips. Oh my God! Like if I'd known this, I'd have tried harder to get those amiibos at launch.
Mm-hmm.
Because like they give you some really good stuff.
Yeah.
In game.
And of course, all of the Zelda amiibos are like the most expensive ones on Amazon. So good luck getting those. I also wanted those Joy-Cons, but we're not getting those either. So.
Well, why not?
Oh, the Zelda ones. Because they're sold out everywhere.
They're not going to... Wait, are they limited stock? I thought those are going to be like a full-time thing.
They're always limited. So
It's got the Nintendo name attached to it.
No, it's got the Zelda name attached to it. So...
Hey, I'm learning right now the only thing that trumps Zelda is Kingdom Hearts stuff.
Yeah. But at least Square makes enough of it to buy.
Yeah.
So, and then the last thing here I have is accompanying the Skyward Sword trailer that's going to happen. They're going to announce another remake or remaster of another Zelda game. So, my hope is that they release Wind Waker and Twilight Princess on Switch, but it's probably going to be another 2D Zelda game because that seems to be the pattern is 3D, 2D, 3D, 2D. And we already got Skyward Sword, so it's probably going to be.
So
my guess is probably going to be It's probably going to be the Oracle games, is my guess. But
I can kind of see that trend because I never actually played the Oracle games,
and they seem to be trying to remake those Game Boy ones. So
yeah, I can see that. Or they could take one more stab at Link to the Past.
I mean, they could.
Like
I wouldn't mind seeing like a Link to the Past, Link Between Worlds remake bundle together. Right?
Yeah.
In this, maybe not in the exact style of Link's Awakening, but in the style of a Link Between Worlds, but HD.
That'd be cool though.
That'd be cool.
I keep telling Nintendo how they can get my money, and they never listen, so they don't get my money.
No, they'll just release another Mario something stupid, and then they'll just make billions of dollars. They'll just release Animal Crossing 2 or something, and they'll be like, 50 million units, $60 a piece, we're rich.
What do we think of the Mario Kart 9 showing up?
No,
Mario Kart 8 still selling way too well for them that they're.
Okay.
I would love to see Mario Kart 9. I love Mario Kart 8, but I've been playing it since 2013. Okay, I need a new Mario Kart.
That's fair. Do you think they would do like, okay, so I was talking to a friend tonight about it. It was like, if Mario Kart 9 ends up happening, what if it's like Smash and it's every level, it's every character?
I would see this was my thing. I was like, I would love like a Smash style kart, like a Nintendo kart style thing where you have like Samus and Fox and
Right.
Maybe even Sonic and whatever. But my thing is like I would totally buy Mario Kart 9 and just have 8 really awesome circuits that you could do, and then you sell the Super Nintendo pack for $15. You sell the
That would be bad.
N64 pack for $20 or whatever, right? And you just have these DLC packs where you download the tracks and maybe the karts that were relevant in those games, or like you'd sell the Double Dash pack for $20 or whatever.
And then, do you think we're going to get a Game Boy collection on the Switch?
Probably that's probably the next thing that's coming is a Game Boy Nintendo Switch Online. Although I think it would be smart if they just did Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance as one.
I would also think that an N64 would be like.
Yeah, the thing is like the emulation for N64 is a lot different than the 2D consoles, and I guess it's like a lot more work, and they just don't want to do it.
That's fair. That's completely fair.
Although it is the Virtual Console is available on Wii U and Wii, so I don't understand why it's not on Switch.
Fair.
But GameCube, I guess, is like the hardest to port.
Yeah,
over. That's what I've heard.
And I've heard that a few times because, like, yeah, GameCube, and so remember when they were doing like that the Nintendo's the Super Nintendo or like collection on a physical console that you buy at like Walmart or whatever. I remember like when that all was coming out, everybody's like, oh yeah, the N64 and GameCube should get this too, and everything I'd heard was no, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Man, a GameCube Mini would be awesome though.
Dude, I would freaking love it, man.
Yeah. So that's kind of my big Zelda thing. The other thing, Nintendo is going to show off Monolith Soft's new game, the Xenoblade team.
Very cool.
They have 4 teams. 2 of them are helping develop Breath of the Wild 2. We know that. One of them just wrapped the Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, which is the remake of the first game. The 4th team, which this came out in 2019, they have been working on a new IP. Now, granted, that could still turn into Xenoblade 3. We don't know, but they showed off some concept art on their website, and I think it's about time to show that off because it took them. They've doubled their staff since Xenoblade Chronicles 2 came out. And in between Xenoblade Chronicles X and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, they were able to make Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and help with development on Breath of the Wild in 2.5 years. Which is insane to develop that big of an RPG in 2.5 years while helping develop another game. So
that's awesome, dude.
It's been a little over a year since Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition came out. I think it's time for them to show off their new game, and I think it'll probably be out either December this year or early next year. Also, to kind of put this whole thing in perspective, on the Easy Allies Friend Code podcast, which is their Nintendo show, their guest, Matt Simmons from Yo Video Games, stated that the choir and orchestra who did music for Xenoblade Chronicles 2 have officially wrapped recording and production for music on a, quote, Japanese video game. And they stated on their Facebook page, the composer is Mitsuda, who composed the music to Xenoblade Chronicles 2. The director of said game is Takahashi, who's one of the lead developers at Monolith Soft. And the kicker is the choir and orchestra have only recorded music for one other video game, which was Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So a lot of finger pointing here towards Monolith's next game. So just these last three here, Ubisoft will be showing off another crossover with Nintendo. I'm hoping it's Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle 2 with new characters and moves and enemies and stuff.
Bro makes fun of me for saying it. Yeah, you have it on your list.
I mean, yeah, I think it's time. It's been 4 years, right? I think that's enough time to make it cool.
It's time, but it also, too, is you can't ignore the sales that the first one did. It did so freaking well for what the game was.
Yeah. It's in their top 20 games on Switch sales right now. So because it's been on sale a couple times during the last year, you could get the gold edition for $14.99, which includes awesome. The Donkey Kong DLC, which was amazing, by the way.
Fantastic.
Xbox is going to announce some sort of crossover with Nintendo. Sarah Bond, Phil Spencer, and Major Nelson all displayed Switches on their shelves recently. 2 of which have been in a studio setup. Not just on their shelf in the background like Phil Spencer did in a video, but Sarah Bond clearly was in a studio. It had like a Master Chief helmet, it had some Xbox stuff, and then it clearly had a Nintendo Switch front and center. Some people think it's going to be some sort of curated version of Cloud Game Pass, which, would include Xbox games and some third-party games that couldn't run on Switch. EA is also somehow rumored to be involved in this with EA, their EA Play program, which you get with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. It's going to be a super curated version of Game Pass where, if the indie is available on Switch, you're not going to be able to get it. So I think it's mostly used for Microsoft's first-party games and maybe some third-party partners like maybe Outriders or, games of that nature. And then last but not least, Xbox will announce 3 new IP from first-party studios. Obsidian, we know, is working on a first-person RPG, and Exile is working on a new RPG in Unreal Engine 5. And Compulsion, the studio behind We Happy Few, is rumored to be finished with their next game and waiting for a strategic release in their polishing and stuff on a game that's similar to BioShock. The Coalition is also rumored to be working on Gear 6 and a new IP. People who have been following Xbox know that the Coalition used to be called Black Tusk Studios, and they were working on a game called Shanghai, which was a spy game before they moved over to Gears 4. So, those are my predictions. I think we're going to get a bunch of cool announcements from both conferences.